Depo-Provera lawsuits and brain tumors. What women need to know in 2025. Over 550 women are currently pursuing lawsuits against the makers of Depo-Provera, claiming that the birth control injection has led to the development of meningioma brain tumors. Are you eligible for a Depo-Provera lawsuit? In a significant development, all generic drug manufacturers have been removed from the federal litigation, leaving Pfizer as the sole defendant facing these serious allegations. As of July 15, 2025, the number of women filing lawsuits related to Depo-Provera and brain tumors is increasing rapidly. Courts are now tasked with determining whether there is enough scientific evidence to allow these claims to proceed to trial. Additionally, they are addressing pretrial motions that argue Pfizer should not be held liable under federal law. Depo-Provera has been a popular choice for birth control for over 3 decades, with millions of women receiving the injection, often for extended periods of 10 years or more. However, recent studies have raised alarms about potential long-term side effects. These studies have suggested a troubling link between Depo-Provera and an increased risk of developing intracranial meningiomas. Some findings indicate that women who have received these injections may be up to 5 times more likely to develop these types of brain tumors. In light of these findings, a growing number of lawsuits have been filed against Pfizer and other manufacturers, alleging that these companies were aware or should have been aware of the risks associated with their product but failed to provide adequate warnings to both patients and healthcare providers. As more women begin to associate their brain tumors with the use of Depo-Provera, the litigation is expected to grow significantly. Legal experts predict that thousands of lawsuits could be filed before the initial cases are presented to a jury. Depo-Provera lawsuit ***. Did you or someone you know receive Depo-Provera injections? If so, you may be eligible to pursue a lawsuit. Many women are currently seeking justice after developing brain tumors following their use of this birth control method. All federal lawsuits related to Depo-Provera are currently consolidated in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Florida. Judge M. Casey Rogers is overseeing the coordinated discovery and pretrial motions as part of a federal multidistrict litigation, MDL. This centralization aims to streamline the discovery process, prevent redundant efforts, and prepare a set of early bellwether trials to assess how juries might respond to the evidence presented. Judge Rogers has instructed the involved parties to prepare 5 initial pilot cases for early trial dates. While the outcomes of these trials will not be binding on other claims, they are anticipated to significantly influence potential settlement negotiations regarding Depo-Provera or guide the litigation if it escalates to numerous individual trials. In a recent case management order issued on July 14, Judge Rogers noted that at least 550 lawsuits have been filed by women across the United States. The order also confirmed that all generic drug manufacturers, including Prasco LLC, Greenstone LLC, and Viatris Incorporated, have been dismissed from the litigation, leaving Pfizer as the only defendant in the MDL. Currently, the focus is on 2 critical legal issues: federal preemption and general causation. The preemption issue revolves around whether Pfizer can be held accountable under state law for not warning about the risks of brain tumors, or if such claims are prohibited because the FDA had already approved the labeling for Depo-Provera. If the court determines that federal law supersedes the plaintiff's claims, many cases could be dismissed before they reach trial. Judge Rogers expressed satisfaction with the cooperation among the parties involved, stating, "At this time, no discovery disputes have been brought to the court for resolution. This collegiality has resulted in a highly efficient process that benefits the court and all litigants involved as well." If the court permits the lawsuits to advance after addressing the preemption motions, the next step will be to examine the scientific evidence linking Depo-Provera to meningioma brain tumors. The deadline for preemption discovery is set for July 25, with the next case management conference scheduled for August 22. While trial dates have yet to be established, Judge Rogers' timeline suggests that the first bellwether cases may not be presented to juries until late 2026 or early 2027. Although the results of these trials will not be binding on other claims, they are expected to provide valuable insights into how juries react to key arguments and testimonies, potentially paving the way for broader settlement negotiations regarding Depo-Provera. To stay informed about this ongoing litigation, consider signing up to receive updates on the Depo-Provera lawsuits directly in your inbox. Find out if you qualify for a Depo-Provera lawsuit ***. Depo-Provera controversy. What you need to know about the birth control shot and brain tumor risks. The ongoing controversy surrounding Depo-Provera. Essential insights for medical marketers. As we step into 2025, The legal landscape surrounding Pfizer's injectable contraceptive, Depo-Provera, has become increasingly tumultuous, with a notable surge in lawsuits against the pharmaceutical giant. This uptick in legal action has been largely fueled by a 2024 study that established a troubling connection between an active ingredient in Depo-Provera and an elevated risk of developing meningiomas, which are tumors that form around the membranes of the brain and spinal cord. Pfizer's response to these allegations has been somewhat inconsistent. While the company has taken steps to revise the safety label for the drug in Europe, it has also dismissed many of the claims made in these lawsuits as without merit, as stated in a communication to MM+M. This evolving situation serves as a crucial learning opportunity for medical marketers. Although controversies surrounding pharmaceutical products are not new, experts suggest that this scenario presents a unique chance for marketers to bridge the gap between drug manufacturers and consumers. Gil Bash, a seasoned professional with over 20 years in the industry and the chair of Global Health and Purpose at Finn Partners, remarked, "While this is not a groundbreaking event for marketers, it consistently offers a platform for industry professionals to leverage scientific knowledge to better inform consumers." #Understanding the controversy. Depo-Provera is a contraceptive injection administered every 3 months, containing a progestin hormone known as medroxyprogesterone acetate. Over the past 16 months, this drug has faced significant scrutiny following a study published in the British medical journal, BMJ, which indicated that the hormone could increase the risk of meningiomas by 5.6 times. The research analyzed data from the French national healthcare system, focusing on 18,061 women who underwent surgery for meningiomas between 2009 and 2018. The study primarily targeted women over the age of 30, with an average participant age of 58. By comparing these cases to 5 healthy controls, researchers identified an observational link between long-term use, exceeding 12 months, of medroxyprogesterone acetate and a heightened risk of developing meningiomas. It is important to note that an observational link indicates a correlation rather than a direct cause and effect relationship. Since the study's release, numerous lawsuits have been filed against Pfizer. While medroxyprogesterone acetate is widely recognized as the active ingredient in Depo-Provera, it is also available in tablet form for treating various hormonal disorders, including heavy menstrual periods, endometriosis, and polycystic ovarian syndrome. Following the BMJ study, Pfizer acknowledged the potential association between long-term use of Depo-Provera and meningiomas, stating that it was in the process of updating product labels and patient information leaflets accordingly. However, while the company revised its safety profile in several European countries to reflect these risks in late 2024, no updates have been made to warning labels in the United States, and the FDA has not mandated any changes. As of mid-July, over 400 active lawsuits against Pfizer and other manufacturers of Depo-Provera are pending in the U.S. Some plaintiffs argue that the company failed to adequately inform consumers about the potential risks associated with the drug. In response, Pfizer has firmly denied these allegations, asserting that it believes these claims are without merit and will vigorously defend against them. The company also emphasized its commitment to the safety and efficacy of Depo-Provera, which has been utilized by millions of women globally as a vital option for managing reproductive health. Reactions from the medical community. The original study has not been without its critics within the medical field. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, ACOG, released a statement after the study's publication, underscoring the necessity of a shared decision-making approach in which information about the drug is presented in a clear and balanced manner, highlighting both benefits and risks. ACOG noted that, although the study indicated a slight increase in meningioma risk among women in France using medroxyprogesterone acetate, the overall risk remains very low. Specifically, the study found that 5 out of 10,000 women using the drug might develop meningiomas, compared to 1 out of 10,000 women who do not use it. The limitations of the study's methodology were also emphasized. Physicians from the Albert Einstein College of Medicine wrote to the BMJ, pointing out that out of the 18,000 patients with intracranial meningiomas observed, only 9 had used medroxyprogesterone acetate, while hundreds had received other forms of progesterone with no associated disease progression. Dr. Tuba Anwar, an OBGYN at Mass General Brigham, highlighted the importance of scrutinizing the study's methodology and ensuring that such information is included when discussing drug risks. It's crucial to do your own due diligence, as headlines can often misrepresent the findings, Dr. Anwar stated. ### A sensitive issue. An investigative feature from DrugWatch, a consumer advocacy organization, recently highlighted the experiences of women who have used Depo-Provera and subsequently developed meningiomas. The feature revealed that in 2019, there were over 70 million users of Depo-Provera worldwide. A survey conducted by DrugWatch among 650 respondents aged 18 to 70 in the US found that at least 20% had used injectable contraceptives like Depo-Provera. The feature also referenced an unpublished study currently under review, which aims to further explore the potential link between meningiomas and the key ingredient in Depo-Provera. The authors expressed concern over the severe impact that meningiomas have had on the lives of some women they interviewed. The consequences of these tumors can be devastating and can significantly alter women's lives, stated Christian Simmons, a journalist with DrugWatch. Simmons noted that the team felt compelled to investigate further, especially after the drug safety profile was updated in Europe. Even now, there is still no warning for consumers regarding the potential connection between meningiomas and Depo-Provera following the initial BMJ study, he remarked. While Simmons acknowledged that Depo-Provera may not always be the direct cause in these cases, he stressed the importance of updating safety profiles to better protect consumers. However, not everyone shares this perspective. Bash pointed out that responding to legal claims can have negative repercussions for pharmaceutical companies, potentially influencing consumer behavior regarding the product. He referenced a notable 2008 Business Week article that questioned the efficacy of cholesterol-lowering drugs, which led to many patients discontinuing their medication. Studies conducted from 2015 onward indicated that those who stopped taking statins after negative media coverage experienced an increase in non-fatal heart attacks. Bash suggested that this could explain why companies may hesitate to update their marketing materials. If a company remains silent, there's often a reason. It could lead to patients abandoning life-saving medications, he explained. They possess extensive data and research, and they know how to respond to ensure consumer safety. The controversy surrounding Depo-Provera was also covered by The Guardian, which noted that older women are at a higher risk of developing meningiomas. The article highlighted that 4 out of every 1,000 women aged 30 in the UK are expected to develop meningiomas by the age of 80, even without any medication. A cancer epidemiologist featured in the article advised against discontinuing birth control without consulting a physician, emphasizing that the risk of developing meningiomas for those currently using the drug is extremely small. Bash also pointed out that the BMJ study's research methods did not consider the latency of meningiomas in patients not using medication, which is a critical factor that influences the perceived relationship between treatment and its effects. He noted that pharmaceutical brands typically respond to issues that have merit. In my experience, the industry is consistent in striving to do the right thing, ensuring accurate labeling, and relying on scientific evidence, Bash stated. No one understands the medication better than the company that developed it. They are the ones who design the trials and continue to support their medications with ongoing research. Furthermore, he emphasized the importance of reputation in the pharmaceutical industry, noting that it is rare for a large company to stand by a product at the expense of its overall image. ###Key takeaways for medical marketers. Navigating complex situations like this can be challenging for medical marketers. Experts like Simmons, Bash, and Anwar stress the necessity of providing science-based medical information. When addressing such issues, Bash suggests that marketers should understand their audience and how they engage with data. He advocates for the use of real-world evidence, citing platforms like Stuff That Works, which allow patients to share their experiences with medications without pharmaceutical funding. These real-world evidence databases are invaluable for pharmaceutical marketers. They are cost-effective and represent a worthwhile investment. My advice to the industry is to take real-world evidence seriously. It reflects the actual experiences and health outcomes of patients, Bash advised. Regarding healthcare professionals, HCPs, Anwar emphasized the importance of providing comprehensive information while balancing risks. Just because the FDA hasn't updated the drug information doesn't mean potential risks should be omitted from patient discussions, she stated, referring to Pfizer's updates in Europe. It's crucial to be cautious in how this information is communicated. Anwar also highlighted the need for sensitive communication regarding reproductive health, especially in a climate where reproductive care is under threat in the US. HCPs must collaborate with researchers and companies to ensure accurate information is conveyed, as misinformation can prevent patients from receiving standard care, she noted. It is our collective responsibility to provide informed decision-making support to patients, particularly those of reproductive age or in vulnerable populations. Another critical aspect for marketers to consider is the sources of information. The hidden risks of Depo-Provera, Brain tumor link revealed. Warning: a popular contraceptive injection that many women rely on could be putting them in serious danger by significantly increasing their risk of developing a brain tumor. A new study has revealed that women who use this widely prescribed shot are about 3.5 times more likely to develop a potentially fatal brain tumor, specifically a meningioma, after using it for a year or longer. But here's where it gets controversial. This isn't an isolated finding. It marks the third major investigation within just over a year that points to a disturbing association between long-term use of the injection and a higher chance of developing the most common type of brain tumor. To put things in perspective, around 10,000 prescriptions for medroxyprogesterone acetate, known under the brand name Depo-Provera, are issued every month in England alone. This fact has already spurred hundreds of women in the UK to consider legal action against Pfizer, the manufacturer, accusing the company of neglecting to warn users about these potential risks. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic in the US, a class action suit is in progress against Pfizer and other companies producing generic versions of the injection. More than 500 women there claim that these companies were aware of the risk and failed to adequately inform users or advise on safer alternatives. So what exactly is Depo-Provera all about? This hormone-based injection, administered every 3 months, works by preventing the ovaries from releasing eggs, thereby offering an effective means of contraception. It's been available on the NHS for over 4 decades. However, its longevity on the market hasn't prevented concerns from surfacing. For instance, a 2024 study published in the British Medical Journal, which examined over 18,000 women, found that those who used the injection for a year or more had up to a 5-fold increase in the risk of developing a meningioma. Adding more weight to these concerns was a subsequent investigation from a research team at the University of Alabama, which reported similar findings. Even though meningiomas are generally non-cancerous, they can wreak havoc on a person's quality of life by causing blurred vision, frequent headaches, hearing loss, a diminished sense of smell, and even problems with swallowing. The tumors tend to grow slowly, but if they become large enough, they might compress vital brain structures and nerves, leading to life-threatening complications. In the UK, between 2,000 and 3,000 individuals are diagnosed with a meningioma each year, with women being particularly more susceptible. The most recent study, conducted by researchers at the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada, compared data from 72,181 women using the injection with information from more than 247,000 women who chose oral contraceptives. They found that long-term users of the injection face more than triple the risk of developing a meningioma compared to those on the pill. Dr. Maya Etmanen, one of the researchers, noted that the risk does not seem to escalate with additional years of use, yet he emphasized that the consistency of findings across 3 large studies leaves little room for doubt. According to him, women who are worried about this potential risk might want to consider other contraceptive options. But why does this injection appear to trigger tumor growth? The precise mechanism remains unclear, though one prevailing theory suggests that the synthetic hormone progestogen present in the injection might attach itself to meningioma cells and encourage their growth. Intriguingly, some studies have also indicated that certain progestogen-containing oral contraceptives may increase meningioma risk in a small subset of women, particularly after 5 or more years of use. Due to these growing concerns, the UK's Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, MHRA, called on Pfizer last October to update their patient information leaflets with a warning about this elevated risk. In addition, Pfizer has reportedly reached out to NHS doctors, urging them to halt the use of Depo-Provera in any woman diagnosed with a meningioma immediately. Virginia Buchanan, a partner at Levin Papantonio, the law firm spearheading the legal challenge in the US, stated, "This new study reinforces the need for legal action against Pfizer, with the hope of bringing justice for the women who have never been warned about the increased risk of developing a brain tumor from using Depo-Provera and who have gone on to develop meningiomas." Pfizer, meanwhile, has declined to comment on these recent findings. What do you think about this developing controversy? Should women trust long-standing contraceptive methods when emerging research suggests significant risks, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Share your thoughts and join the discussion in the comments below.